Hello, my name is Thomas Shelowise with Night Train Pickleball.
Welcome back to Night Train Pickleball Academy Level 2. This is the second video in the return series. So let's just do a real quick recap. We've got a lot of ground to cover today, so let's just go back to the 5 phases of pickleball. This is how we've broken the game down, and this is how we teach the game in the academy, whether you're in level 1 or level 2. So the first phase is the serve. The second phase is the return. The third phase is the no volley zone or advancing 2. Number 4 is the short game, the dinking, and number 5 is what we're all waiting for, is the put away shot or hitting the winner. So moving right on to, this is the return part 2 video. We are to the purpose of the return. Now this next couple are going to be recaps of last week. So just a reminder, the purpose of the level at this level for the return shot or second shot in the series is to strategically start setting up a winner or put away shot in the next 2 or 3 shots. This way you can then enter into the third phase of the game or the short game with the advantage, all right? And then a reminder, don't hit out returns. Hitting a return shot out is essentially giving the other team free points. It is very important to hit a return shot in and give your team the best opportunity for position advantage, right? That brings us to the next thing, which is important placement and no volley zone. It is important to think through and communicate to your partner where you will be placing the return shot and what to be looking for in the third shot. Potentially put away opportunity or setup shot for the third shot mishap or mistake on server side. However, it is still important that you make it to the no volley zone and back up partner for 4-shot opportunity or start of short game. Okay, so then we recap last week, this week. So last week we talked about defending the serve, and this week we are going to talk about attacking or strategy for setting up winners or attackable shots. So let's dive in. So the first part of this is the returning from this position. You can see that I'm over on the other side of the court looking at the potential opportunities. So this is me looking at potential opportunities in order of how I look at it, right? So when I get ready to return the serve, I look at number 1, the middle. I look at number 2, the left line. I look at number 3, the right line. And I look at number 4, the corner, okay? So depending on where the server and the server's partner sets up will determine where I will be potentially looking to hit a return shot, okay? Now keep in mind, this isn't every time. Sometimes I will just be hitting a normal, safe shot to the middle to be setting these up down the road. So keep that in mind. Now let's jump to the next thing, which is the first open spot. Okay, so why would I go after this open spot? If you will see, the first circle here on the right is the server. So the server is serving closer to the outside line, or the right, my left side, his right side line, or her right side line. So they're leaving, and then the serving partner doesn't come over and fill the spot. Keep the distance of, the 10-foot distance between them, and either stays in the middle or moves over to the left. Then it opens up the middle. So you can see I have open 1 to the server partner side, and open 2 is to the serve partner side, and then the open 2 is to the server's backhand, right? So middle is the first opportunity, and then we're going to move to the next slide, which is now it's the right line, or the left line. It's the right line for the server, but it's the left line for me facing, because the server has now slid over to the left to the middle line, and doesn't matter what the serve partner does in this point, but we're making the assumption that they're moving over to the line as well to keep the distance. But what happens is now the left line, that corner, is open, and then of course that if the serve partner moves over, then there's an option too for the open side of the serve partner. But this is more or less in order on how I'm looking at this. I know it's starting to get a little complicated. You're starting to look at that and go, oh my gosh, look at all that stuff happening. But it's real easy. I'm either looking at 1, the middle, 2, the left line, And then if that opens that up, then they're actually open two there is not really an option unless I just absolutely see something happening there that I feel like I can take better advantage of, right? So if we slide on to the next one, it's right lane. So the server now again has moved all the way over, and now the partner has moved over to the center to really try to cover up. Now that still leaves open one, that still leaves the backhand to the server open, but now it opens up the right line, and that's open two, right? So it opened up right line and opens up the middle. And I'll just be honest, if I go down the right line, I really want to make sure that I have practiced that, number one, and number two, that I really give myself some room. So I'm not going to really shoot for the line. I might shoot for 10 inches inside the line. So that gives me a 10-inch leeway there, a 10-inch mistake there. So if I hit just inside 10 inches, I'm still inside the line. I might move that even to a foot inside the line and give myself some time. But if you get it close to that line, you're doing exactly what you want to do. So again, open is to the server's backhand, and then open two, or the third spot is the right line, which is a backhand to the serving partner. Okay, so let's jump right onto the next one, and that is number 4. Now this one is one of my favorite ones to hit from time to time. I usually try to set this up, okay, but it's my left corner. When I'm looking, it's the left corner. For the server, it's the right corner. And again, I'm not really paying attention to the serve partner where they're setting up. I have probably made my mind up beforehand that I'm seeing this corner open up, and I definitely don't go out after it right away. I just know in the back of my head, I put it away going, I'm going to go after that at some point. So I keep seeing the server slide over to the right, or to the left, my right, but to the left, to the middle line. And I also notice they either have a mobility issue or they're not anticipating or reacting very fast, okay? So I may hit some deep ones to the center. I may even hit one right at the server and then hit one at the serve partner, which doesn't get them thinking that I'm going to do anything different. It really allows them to start thinking that they're in the right position, and then I'm going to hit one to that corner, right? And when I do, it's really going to open up an opportunity with the potential to even score a point there, or have them change servers or side out, whatever it may be. But I usually go after that if we need something to happen, right? Whether we're down and we need to get the serve back, or whether we're just trying to get the serve back so we can put the game away, whatever it may be. That is something that is, that's why it's number 4 on the list, because it's not it's the bottom of the list, but it's definitely something that if you practice consistently and don't hit it a lot, can be very crucial and be a game changer, right? So this is why, because when I hit that return shot, so let's start with me. I'm back here, and I'm returning from this position. Once I return to position 4, which is what the yellow arrow is doing, the return shot, and a returner goes to defend it, which you see now the server is moving up to defend it. If they get that shot, which a skilled player will probably get that shot, you will see now that where I have the X is completely opened up the backhand on the fullest shot, because now they're hitting the shot back, whether they drop it in the kitchen, whether they hit it a little deeper, whether they hit a survival shot, whatever it may be. If I do what I'm supposed to do, my partner and I are up there on that next shot, and then what I can do is I can hit it to that spot. Now, typically on that 4th shot doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a winner unless the server is just completely out of place. What then happens is the serve partner has to come over and try to cover, which means it leaves that spot open on his backhand, or the server is having to try to cover more ground and to get a shot to the backhand that's probably going to be a little hard. And then they're not going to make a great shot back, which then either gives us a winner shot or another opportunity to hit up another shot that's going to give us a winner. But if we continue to try to hit those open shots, remember, placement over power, eventually there's going to be a spot that's just going to be a put away shot for sure. Okay, so let's jump to the next thing. And so basically, returning from this position, so basically when I hit a shot that should be hit a shot to attack, I am going to hit a harder shot like the drive shot. So when I go after one of these 4 shots, it's going to be a drive shot. It's going to be low and hard to go through the open spot faster. Now keep in mind, if you're like 3-5 and lower, there's potential that these could be winners. But you start getting about a strong 3-5 or higher, these will not be winners, but these will start getting them out of position and start making, and at the very least, the player will have to move fast in shorter time to hit a third shot, basically making their shot harder and low percentage. And that's really what we want to happen, is we want them to hit shots that are lower percentage. We want them to hit maybe harder shots that are up, that will give us the advantage and potential put away shot. Okay, so let's talk about recapping this a little bit. So recap return shot 1, looking to set up the 4-shot opportunity. When you see the team set up to serve, they should let you know real quick where you may want to return the ball for a strategic attack on the return and set up the 4th shot. Keep in mind, this may present itself only a few times in a game depending on skill level, but be looking for it, right? And so then recap number 2 is, and this should blow your mind a little bit, but keep in mind, if these shots are not opening up, you can also set them up by making strategic returns to certain areas to move the player over in anticipation for the next return, and then go for the open shot. Blow your mind? I thought so. So what does that mean? That means I can see that these players starting out are staying in the position that they want to stay. So they're staying in the middle, or they're covering for each other, right? They're not giving me much. What I can do is I can potentially start hitting spots, not number 4, but I can start hitting spots to see if I can get them to move over or to start shading over to a spot, because they see me returning there a lot. What that does, then it starts opening stuff up, right? So this is a little more advanced thinking. This is a little more, hey, what can I do to start opening shots up? So just know that, there's 11 points in the game that you're going after. And in those 11 points, especially as you go up in skill level, they're not going to be shots that you're going to just be able to put away every time. You may have to take half the game to set up shots, right? But it's not how you start the game, it's how you finish the game, right? And so that is something to think about. All right, so let's go practice. So the return drill that we're going to work on is really simple. I'm going to tell you it's going to be difficult when you first start, but it's very simple drill to do. So set up cones in a different spots. You will see I have the cones set up in different spots, and work on placing the ball consistently in each one. And what I mean is in each area, not necessarily going after the cone. That is something that's a little more advanced that you can work on later, but you're getting around the cone. That's what you're really working on. Once you start working on consistently getting that ball in that area, then you're working on speeding the ball up and continue work on consistency. So now you're hitting a little harder and a little harder, but staying consistent. Don't give up consistency for speed. Once you get it consistent, then you can speed it up. And once you get it consistent at that speed, speed it up even more. And you know what I'm saying. So consistently speeding it up and staying consistent. And once you get there, you should be able to get to about 70%, because why? We play the game at 70% is the hardest we want to hit the ball. So once you feel like you've gotten to 70% and you're being consistent, now you're going to start doing some real damage, right? So this will take time, and remember your thumb, okay? So it will take some patience to do this, but once you get this down, you're going to start seeing how you really can control the other team and control the game, right? So good luck to you. Thanks for joining us, and get ready for the 3rd shot series coming along. It's going to be awesome.